Alright, this is a video about YouTube, about this puppeteering ChatGPT project I've been working on. It's basically a combination of the puppeteering project, virtual puppeteering, and some ChatGPT scripts and some Python code. So let's do the demo. Essentially, this is what you get when you get this free project. Then you take it apart like I'll show you, and maybe it'll do something like this.
That's not how you catch a fly. You have to wait for it to come closer, then jump on it. I bet you didn't know that. You're just lucky to have me as your friend.
Alright, so it's obviously not polished, but it's the start of an idea. And essentially what you do if you want to do something like this is you download this puppeteering project. I would also suggest taking the course right here, which was very helpful, and it shows how to rig up things using control rig, and it's definitely worth your time. It is a lot of information. So what I did basically is take this project apart, and first thing I did, and maybe I'll make a couple of videos on this, but we took the main alien apart and broke out the controls that were hooked up, because it was originally set up for a joystick to input, capture input and control things. So we don't want to do that. What we want to do is we want to run off of a list of commands from a data file. And there's several different ways of doing this. You just have to get a CSV file and load it in, and it has to have a particular structure. What's happening is this is the script that's being played. This is the data file, and this is the data structure, and there's videos on how to do this, but for each line we have the actor, action, and what needs to be said. So it just goes through this loop and basically kind of understands what it's supposed to, it's scripted. These are the data files, the data tables, and this is the structure that you have to create in order to load in the CSV data. Again, there's let's see if I can find them. Not you. Sorry, should have had this already pulled up. This guy right here. Right, so you watch these videos and he shows you how to make the data tables. Okay, the other thing I did was got on to ChatGPT. So if you don't, or I'm sorry, OpenAI, if you don't have an account, you're going to have an account. but I started experimenting with, uh, asking it to create, dialogues. And I can upload a lot of this, and it will kind of show you as I was experimenting, can you write me blah, blah, blah. So it starts writing this out, and there's the prompt, and then you can play with the prompt. But the interesting thing is while it's, this is a different version. You can, this is a newer version I was going to try to incorporate, and I'm still working on this project. But essentially, you're telling ChatGPT to create the scene, create the dialogue, but create it in such a way that you can parse it. Right? So I'm trying to tell it, hey, I want the actor and the action and the context. So we can, parse it. And so I prompt it again. And then it kind of figures it out. And then, sorry for scrolling so fast, but you can look at the prompt, and at the very beginning you get it going. So we want the script to not just be a script, but kind of a driver uh, for code. So we go down to the very end, and then I say, hey, can you write me the code to parse this thing? And it kind of spits some stuff out. And I tried the code, and I modified it. So first thing we do is we go out to ChatGPT, we get the prompt right, and then it'll not only create the scene and the dialogue between the two items, but it'll do it in such a way that it could be parsed in an actor, action, context format. Right? So we come on over to, I realize these are the same file name, but um, we got a second pass, or two passes that we go through. And let's say the script that was generated, let's see, is it this one right here? Okay, script 2. And this isn't the actual script that's playing, this is a newer version, but these are the actions. So frog 2, look up. And then what we do is we put that into a CSV file so we can import it, just drag and drop into Unreal. And then Unreal is going to say, hey, I need a data structure, just like the demo says, command structure, and it will load in the data table, like we said before, and then there it is. Now the other thing that we wanted to do is we know what needs to be said, but hey, wouldn't it be nice to convert it using 11 Labs? So here's some 11 Labs code. Hey, get your own key. And this is the Python code I wrote to process the script. Okay, this is script. I've got different versions of this. So what it's going to do, since we just created the script file and we created the CSV file, now we need to process the script file again, and we want to go out to 11 Labs and have it generate these MPEGs, or the sound files. API key, yeah. So if I get traction on this video and people are interested, obviously I'll post things, and I'll get things in a little bit better cleaned up process, because it's a multiple pass thing right now. The whole idea of this project is to make it to where you can generate dialogues between characters and have episodes, and it just kind of automatically does 95% of the work for you if you want to do something like that. So, okay, we'll go back to the blueprint. We've got the data files to drive the animation, and then one of the things that we were doing, let's see. Yeah, I had some keys in here doing some things. Uh, I needed a way to, I don't even know if this is working. Okay, this is enter. Okay, sorry. So when you hit enter, we go through the data table and the rows, and then we have this for each loop with a delay. This is kind of hacky, but it works. It's 3 seconds. And this is just I'm going to double click on this. This is just a modified. If you click on a for each loop, you could double click on a for each loop, you will almost see the exact same thing. So this is something I put in to a macro file, and I got it off the YouTube's on how to do a delayed for each. But and I'm not going to go into detail about this. Hopefully we'll have everything uploaded. So yeah, the what's happening here is this is the level blueprint, and it goes through this loop with the delay, and really it needs to be modified to where it has a delay, but then you can stop it when you're doing all of this stuff. So for that table row, we get out the actor, action, and context. We're breaking it apart. Also, the actors in the scene are tagged. Camera 1, camera 2, frog 1, frog 2. So we get all actors with tag. And, if it's a camera actor, then we switch off of the action, and then we set the target, viewport. Right? So that says camera 1, look at whatever. That's what it's going to do. If we cast and it's an alien frog, then we know, oh, okay, get the action. And if it's a play wave, then we play this wave. If it's a blink, then we call blink on the actual alien over here. If it's a play wave, then we've got to get some context, and but we already know what those values should be in the data array that we loaded. So if we go over to the alien, and I just hacked together a real quick how to animate the mouth, which is sucks, and I don't know why Unreal makes it so impossible to just follow the audio amplitude, but they took functionality out. So this is what we have right now. And so event tick, random, mouth open, if it's talking. Blinking is pretty simple. That's all it does. This was the original Yeah, took that out. Don't need it. So play wave if we're talking. Of course, you got to import the audio importer plugin, which is on the marketplace, to load the file. Once the file gets loaded, it fires this event. We say, hey, we're going to start talking, and then this is the code, on the runtime import to create the sound and play it. But what we also do is we set a timer for the duration of the wave file, and that's going to go off in a loop, a timer loop, and while the individual is flapping their mouth, this will fire an event saying it's done. We set talking to off, and then we set the mouth open to close. So uh, that's basically, you know, this thing we're trying to hack over here. The frog anim event graph and anim is, that's all this is. This just came with the project, but you can see it's using a control rig and it's moving the things around. So we can move the head and move the eyes just by telling the command in the command file what to do. I don't know why this editor is weird. I don't really like this, but let's see, this is scene 2. Okay, frog ribbit. And you can actually go in and after you've imported all of this, you can just go in and create more lines. Hey, look over here. I don't know what this action isn't being, work. Nothing's happening here. So this is me. Once you get the the thing imported, then you can go in and edit this. Let's see. Okay, I don't like that. I just don't understand why it's not displaying the way I want it to display. I don't like this. Okay, I messed something up. All right. Anyway, that's kind of a hacked way of going to ChatGPT and getting a scene and a dialogue going. Um, if I get some likes and some hits on this video, then I have no problem giving the code and things away. It'd be nice to have more uh, actions, and that would be kind of interesting in here to make this more uh, advanced, and I don't see why it can't be. Or we'll get socket IO in here and uh, do it completely externally. So I think that's it. Of course, I'm clicking around a lot. I apologize for that. Here's my macros level, and yeah, I thought that was kind of intriguing. Being able to drive Unreal with data files, or maybe eventually socket IO and an external orchestration engine, and you can get all kinds of things happening in here. So we'll fire it up one more time. So you notice I'm clicking, then I hit enter, have to fix that.
That's not how you catch a fly. You have to wait for it to come closer, then jump on it.
And there's still some tweaking that needs to be done.
I bet you didn't know that. You're just lucky to have me as your friend.
All right, hope you enjoyed it. Hope I get some good feedback on this. Like I said, I'm pretty much planning on just uploading the code, but it needs to be cleaned up a little bit with a procedure on how to run the different steps in sequence, so people aren't confused if they want to carry this on further. That's all I got.